Okay, these are some quiz questions that I wanted to go over with you. This is going to be in section 4.1 and 4.2. So what I would like for you to do is have your book open to those sections. Whoa, that's way far back. Have your book open to 4.1 and 4.2, and you try to answer those questions, even if it means maybe racing me, like if I'm starting to explain it and you can find the answer real quick, do that. Or if you need to pause the video, pause it, but try and answer these questions yourself. And if you get them right, you can fast forward and you can look at the last part of the video, and that's where I'll put the answers, because I'm going to be writing them as we go. So the last part of the video would show you all this. Okay, so problem 1, question 1, portion of a line having 2 endpoints. What is it called? Okay, so you should be turning back in your book and you should be thinking, try to outrun me as I'm answering this. So a portion of a line having 2 endpoints. I wrote some notes down here. A line doesn't end. Okay, so it's not just a line. It's got to be a line that has 2 endpoints. So if you look back at page 143, or I'm sorry, 142, you're going to see this is a line segment. It is a portion of a line having 2 endpoints. So there it is, a point and an end. So technically our shapes that we talked about, our shapes are made up of line segments. They don't keep going. They have endpoints, Just something to think about, because your book is filled with definitions. So it's really important to know the definitions so that you can even answer the questions, because they're going to put all these kinds of words like this in your questions. Problem 2, 2 polygons that have the same shape and size. Okay, the word we use for that, so the same shape, let's say they were 2 triangles, and the exact same, that was a sloppy triangle, and the exact same size. Of course, I'm imperfectly drawing this, but we're going to pretend. So, this side and this side and this side, this side. Anyway, just say that they were exactly the same. This is called similar. That's the word we use. Wait. I do believe I have made a mistake. It may not be similar. I'm going to look over here in our polygon section. Wait a second. Polygons that are the exact same shape and size are congruent. So there we go. Similar is when they... Congruent, you get to see me make a mistake there. Similar is when they're the same shape but not the same size. So my bad. So you could have 2 that have all the same angles, but this is just a smaller version of that one, and that would be similar. Congruent, they have to be exactly the same lengths and shapes and everything. So congruent, I don't know of a way to remind us of the word congruent. Maybe if I think of one, I'll come back to that. 3, lines that never intersect. Okay, we mentioned this in the earlier video when we talked about the word parallel, because it's like a pair of L's. Look at that. These 2 are lines that never intersect. They'll never intersect if they keep going straight like that. So that would be called parallel lines. It's got 2 L's right there, just like what it's talking about. Okay, intersecting lines that form 4 right angles. So lines like this. And really, technically, when I draw a line, I should draw an arrow on the end, because technically, lines never end. That is the definition of a line, is that it's a length made up of points. It could have any number of points. It could be a whole number line. You know how we've done our number lines, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, That is a number line. In other words, it keeps going. We use what we need to use to solve the problem, but those lines are always there. They keep going. Those number points on the number line. So intersecting lines that form 4 right angles. So we're going to draw an intersecting line. There's a line going that way. And now it's got to form 4 right angles. The right angles are the ones that are 90 degrees. So we draw them like this to let people know that we mean they are square. Like just like that. So that's 90 degrees. Right there. It's about to represent. But what are these called? That's the question. What are the intersecting lines called? The name for that is called perpendicular. Perpendicular. And then question 5, and I wrote that down here too, and you can find all of that on page 143 and some on 142 about the lines anyway. Okay, so question 5. Any 2 lines that cross at a point. Any 2 lines that cross at a point. That is going to be intersecting lines. They can cross like this, because we know these are intersecting lines, but they're a special kind called perpendicular. I guess I could put lines right there. I'm sure it wouldn't matter. But any 2 lines that cross at a point are just intersecting lines. So they're flexible. They can be like intersecting that way. That's definitely not a 90-degree angle. That's something bigger than 90 degrees. It's wide open, and that's something smaller than 90 degrees. But we'll be talking about those later. This could be an intersecting line, the 90-degree kind. Lots of options. Question 6, the point where 2 sides of a polygon meet. Okay, this is where it comes in handy to know your definitions. The point where 2 sides of a polygon meet. Remember, polygon means just a multiple, many angles. So a polygon, let's just draw one. I'm going to draw sort of a square, but except it's like sitting on its edge, so it looks like a diamond. Anyway, the point where 2 sides meet, let's just choose this point. What is this called? It's an angle, but the correct kind of, well, this is the angle right in here, but this point, there's a name for that, and it is called the vertex. This is on page 143. It's the point where they meet, where 2 sides of a polygon meet and an angle is formed. That is called the vertex. Can't really think of a special way to remember that, but yeah, it's just called a vertex. So these questions, these words, if there were any that you didn't know, go back and just, it's very, very, anything that's bold is going to be something you're going to want to remember. And it might be that you want to draw a page in your book or in your yellow divider part of your book. You know, if you have one of those 3 subject notebooks or even the 1 subject kind, you could draw a bunch of rules about, oh, there's my phone number. You could draw a bunch of rules about, like, you know, your lines and what they're called and basically all of this, but it can be in your own way of doing it. Anyway, let's see. Oh, these, we can go over these briefly, but a point is just a point. The points can be on a line, or they can be, like we had it here, we wanted to know what the point where those 2 met. Actually, I don't really know if you would actually draw a point there, but anyway, a point. You've got that one. A line. It does not end. Parallel lines never intersect. Perpendicular lines definitely intersect, and they have to form 90-degree angles. And the cool thing about 90-degree angles, this 90-degree angle and this one makes 180. This one, blank moment, 180 plus 90 will be 270. And then one more makes a whole 360. So you know how a circle is 360? That is all the angles. So these angles all add up to 360 because they've completed the circle, which is just random, and you may already know that. This is intersecting lines. A ray is a line that's got a point. It's got a place that it starts, and then it goes out. So that one's rays to me are easy to remember because they're like a sun, you know, they go out from a starting spot. A line segment, we talked about that one. It has a beginning and an end, and then it stops and it doesn't keep going. And then that's perpendicular again. Okay, so there's your quiz. Just any of these that you had trouble with, just kind of try to review that and commit to memory, and hopefully that will help you understanding some more questions in the rest of this chapter.